Hey guys, it's Juan with Tinker Garage. Welcome back to another video as I stand and grab you guys. So this is gonna be a reshoot of a video that I did. Unfortunately, if anybody's been doing YouTube videos, you sometimes have this happen. I had a bunch of data files that were corrupted and I lost a lot of footage. But anyways, let's get back to what I was saying. So this is a video on a DIY kind of home garage fix on your AC system for your vehicle. My vehicle is a 2008 Dodge Dakota. It has a 3.7 liter V6 and it's a two-wheel drive automatic. My first issue was one summer it was working. My AC system was working. Wasn't working that great. It started to kind of deteriorate. Wasn't getting as cold. Went into winter. Didn't use it at all. Came out of winter into summer. Started using it and stopped working. So yeah. And I live in Phoenix, Arizona, where it gets a billion degrees. So yeah, that sucked. So I'm gonna kind of go over what I replaced, how I fixed it. If I do have any of the video footage, I will put it in somewhere, or I'll cut to it so you guys can see what I did. I did lose the beginning intro, kind of the review of the products that I bought. I kind of did a closing type video at the end of it that I believe I still have. I do have some GoPro footage of some of the work I did. But yeah, so let me show you what I replaced. Alright guys, so these are going to be the parts that I replaced on my vehicle. So I might have some of the names kind of wonky because like I said, I'm not a mechanic. I'm just a guy that likes to tinker with stuff. So first thing I replaced was, so the first thing I did was take it to kind of diagnostic my way and kind of try to figure out what was going on and kind of do some research. So on the orifice tube line, which is the line that's coming from the condenser to your accumulator, or front radiator to thingy on the side that looks like a canister. I noticed that on one side it would frost up really bad. I'll try to put an image of it. I know it was hard for me to capture that image, and I think that's one of the videos I might have lost. But it would extremely just completely just frost completely up. And then when I would touch the high side, which was coming, how can I put it? Coming out of the vehicle into the AC compressor, that was extremely hot to the touch. So it just seemed like it was struggling to flow all the way through. So let's see. So here we go. So this side gets plugged into your vehicle, which is going into your other stuff that's in your cab. I don't know the words for it, but this is pretty much this section right here would frost completely up. And because you see, as I cut it, because I'm trying to find where the orifice tube is. Because if you look online, you can actually find and buy the orifice tube by yourself. Only issue is you can't take it out of here. You have to cut it. So this is how it originally comes. That goes in like that. That goes in like that. So a lot of times your vehicle is going to either have an expansion valve or an orifice tube. My vehicle has an orifice tube. I think I'm saying it right. Anyways, so as you can see, I'm going to try to point it out. And we'll drop this. There is a kind of like a crimp all the way around this tube. Well, that's where your orifice tube is. So there's that. I don't think it's going to let me get this out of here because the way it's crimped. But this is extremely clogged. I don't know if you could maybe kind of see it. A lot of it's already been wiped down because I've been trying to pull it out. Because if you look at the edge, see how it's a little cross there? That's actually crimped onto it. So yeah. So anything behind that was actually frosting up. Like I said, this was frosting up, and even this was frosting up, but this was behind my accumulator, so you couldn't really see it. But so this is one of the lines I replaced. This is the other part. So originally I thought it was my AC clutch solenoid, which is this. Can't remember. Oh, sorry, I apologize. I cannot remember the actual name for this. I think it's an AC clutch pressure switch. I don't know. So, but I took this one out, and I would plug and unplug it to see if the AC would kick on and off, and it would. So I knew it wasn't this switch. I bought a new one just to replace it, just so I can have a newer part on my vehicle. If anything, I'll take this one off. I'll put it in a little box, or a little Ziploc bag, write the name of it, stick it up. For any reason, if the other one goes out, I have a replacement, and I don't have to go to a junkyard to get a replacement. So, and these are kind of expensive. And then yeah, so like I said, that's the orifice tube line. Oh, here it is. Yeah, switch, interpreter, commutator, AC pressure clutch switch. So yeah, and then the accumulator. So the reason why I replaced it was everything that I read online. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic, so and I'm not an AC tech guy, so I don't know specifically how to do this. So I just did research and I just decided to do it myself. So everything that I read is whenever you tap into the AC system and it's been a while, it's always good to replace this. There's a big decascent bag in it. A decascent just takes moisture out of like a system, takes moisture out of, like if it's in pill bottles, it just takes moisture out of the air. So this takes moisture out of your system. So the decascent over time will fill with moisture and your system won't work as efficient as it could be if it had a new one in there. Since mine is easily located, I decided to replace this also to get my, hopefully my AC system lasts a little bit longer. Like I said, it's a 2008. It has over 230,000 miles on the vehicle. So I'll show you where everything's at, but these are what I replaced, so come with me. So before I dove into this, I did my research and tried to make an educated guess on what I thought the problem was so it wouldn't cost me more in the long run. So before I actually opened the system, I actually had the system evacuated. I guess that's what the term you would call it. So I went to a local shop. I think it's called Grulix Auto Body. It's in Ahwatukee, Arizona. The guys were awesome. I think the guy that helped me, his name was David. Charged me, I believe, I don't have the papers with me right now. Like I said, this is a reshoot that I'm reshooting because I lost footage. It's anywhere from $60 to $68 to evacuate my system, and it took him about an hour to do it. So I went there, had him be responsible, and had him evacuate my system before I tapped into my system. So that's the first thing I did. All right, guys. So then after the system was evacuated, this is your orifice tube line. Like I said, there's a bolt that goes down there. Ooh, engine's hot. They remove there, and then a bolt here, and then this bad boy pops right off. It's really quick, really easy. You don't have to worry about taking the bolt out on this side. Remember, this is all aluminum, so it's soft and you can't strip it out, so be careful. So after I took this line out, the accumulator was next. So you have the two top bolts up here. I would say they're the sizes, but I don't remember them, and I don't, like I said, I lost all that footage. Any footage that I do have, I will put. So you'll probably hear me stop, and then they'll cut to some footage of me taking it out, and then me talking again. So yeah, so here's the brackets that have the two bolts up there. There's another two bolts down here, and then you have your two lines going into the vehicle, one from the accumulator, and then where are you, your second line coming from your AC. So that's your AC hose that goes down underneath and goes into there. So that's the third thing I removed. Super simple, super easy to take out. All right, guys, so yeah, like I said, those are the three things I took out. I did buy some tools on Amazon to kind of help me with it, or the quick disconnects. I'll try to show them. I think I have some of that video left or saved. I hope I didn't lose that video. But I ended up buying two different disconnects just because I like tools. I like to have extra tools. You probably could have just bought one. I bought the multicolored donut looking ones. It is two different size fittings on the top and the bottom. The blue one I think helped me disconnect one, and then I had to use the black one because the tubes that were going to here to disconnect weren't the same diameter as the other one. So like this goes into a tube, you have one that goes in here, but the diameter on this side wasn't the same. One was bigger than the other, than the top one. So for some reason they did that. I'm not sure, but all the parts that I bought, they came with new gaskets. Yeah, it was actually pretty quick. One part of footage that I lost that kind of sucked was so I rented a vacuum pump from my local O'Reilly's, and I didn't realize that you have to put a piece of cloth over the exhaust vent because they will mist out some of the vacuum pump oil that's in it. So I left it in my garage with my garage door closed going, and I had it run for an hour. So I was gonna put a vacuum on it for an hour, close the system, and see if there was any leaks after I replaced everything. I was like, perfect, I'm good to go. So I came back and my garage was full of a misty haze, and I could not figure out what the hell happened. I thought I purged something. I didn't know what happened, but lucky enough I went to go check the vacuum pump and I could see that there was almost no oil in that vacuum pump. I don't know if it's just an old vacuum pump from O'Reilly's. I've never done this before. This is the first time I've ever done an AC vacuum. Putting a vacuum on the AC system, actually using a vacuum pump. That's the first time I ever used one. So that was kind of crazy. So, but I lost all that footage, which kind of sucked. It looked really eerie. I mean, everything was just cloudy in here, but yes. There we go. All right, guys. So I'm gonna break it down on parts, on our costs. Sorry, on the parts that I use, that I paid for. None of this is a sponsored video by any means. So if I mention a company's name, I didn't get sponsored by them. This is just who I bought my parts through. So the first were, I went through ROCKAUTO to get my parts. And I know a lot of people don't like going through ROCKAUTO. They tend to have some really cheap parts. So when I bought my parts, I actually bought the in-between. There was actually cheaper prices on those parts, but I was like, I didn't want to go that cheap on it just because of, you never know, you know what I mean? Some stuff that comes out of China is good, some stuff that comes out of China is not good. So it is what it is. But this is what I spent. So on the Orifice 2 accumulator and AC oil, I spent $79. Yeah, $79 on that. I ended up spending sorry, I kind of got my paper all mixed up. So I ended up buying additional gaskets and rings. And the reason why I did it is just in case my my AC pump, my AC compressor goes out, I have the gaskets already on hand. So I ended up buying those. I didn't need to, but I bought them. And that was $37. To get it, my actual AC unit evacuated, because I didn't want to expose and just let all that stuff into the air. I kind of wanted to be somewhat moral about it. I went to a shop in Ahwatukee, Arizona. I think they're called Grolux Automotive. The guy that helped me was David. They ended up charging me $62 to evacuate it, which isn't that bad, to be honest. And then I ended up buying also a pressure switch, and that I got at O'Reilly's, and that was $48. And then I ended up buying compressor oil for the, not compressor oil, the vacuum pump. I'm sorry, vacuum pump oil. So I ended up buying that because the one that I went from Rent-A-Tool from O'Reilly's was really low, and I didn't realize that one of my lines when I first started doing it was loose, and I ended up spitting out a bunch of that oil, and I didn't want to burn that oil, that vacuum pump, because I didn't want to pay for it. So that initially was a $200 loan out. So they charge your credit card or your debit card or whatever you have, and then when you return it, normally you have to return it within 48 hours. You get refunded all that money back. So that doesn't cost you anything. What I ended up also buying off of Amazon, where the donut disconnects, the multicolored donut disconnects, and I also bought the white C-clip ones, because those are not only are they AC, but they're also like transmission and fuel line disconnects too. So if I want to do future things on my truck, which I'm probably going to do anyways, might as well buy those tools. And those were actually too expensive. So the multicolored donuts, that's what I call them, the quick disconnects, they're $10 from Amazon. The white cups also got them from Amazon with $9. And I ended up having to buy the AC couplers to replace the ones I had. So the original AC gauge that I had was from Harbor Freight. I bought it maybe 2 years ago. My wife at the time had a 2005 Nissan Altima, and she had a little pinhole leak in her AC unit, and I wanted to fix it. She didn't want me to fix it, and the only thing I could really do is, and I started learning about it, so I didn't want to dive too deep into an AC unit at that time. I used the gauges to monitor how much AC and Freon to put into it. So I've had those for about 2 years. The couplers finally broke, and like all the little ball bearings that hold the couplers in actually fell apart. I ended up buying replacement ones from Amazon, of course, and that was 16 bucks, and they actually coupled right on, and they're awesome. They're all metal too, so the ones from Harbor Freight are metal, but you have like the plastic symbols on it. This one actually has an etched in symbol of the arrows, one to open, one to close. So they were decent, I guess. Like I said, I'm not an auto mechanic, so I really don't know what's a really good quality, but they seem good quality and they work perfect. So didn't leak, didn't do anything. So so total that I spent, since I already had the AC gauges, I'm not gonna add the AC gauges to that, but you can figure that's another $100 maybe. And if you get one of those 20% coupons, it's even less than that. So I spent $273 total to fix my AC system. Not bad, not bad, especially when it could run you anywhere from $500 to $1,000. So not just money I could save to put back into my truck to do something else. So like I said, with the AC gauges, if you have to buy them, it's 378 bucks. It could probably be almost 400 if you had to buy the vacuum pump, but you can actually go to any like big box chain parts store and actually rent them out and at almost no charge. Like I said, my O'Reilly's down the street from my house. I just had to put a credit card on file, like if I was making the purchase, and they refunded completely all back to me. So yeah, so I hope this actually helps anybody that's trying to get into the AC system or work on their own AC system. Remember, this is just an educational purposes. I don't want to get sued for anything. So, but I'm not afraid to dive into my truck. Like I said, it's a 2008. It has a lot of miles on it. There's no warranty on it, and I like fixing stuff myself. So I did my research first, and I did, dive into it. So I was comfortable doing it. Oh, another thing, the Freon that I put in, when I had it evacuated, they measured exactly how much they took out and actually used that as a reference, just in case, like if you don't have on your sticker on your car. That's a good way to do the reference. Sorry, this video is going kind of long. So they evacuated 1 pound 4 ounces. Well, 16 ounces is a pound. On top of another 4 ounces, that's 20 ounces of Freon that I needed to put back. I'm sorry, not Freon, but R134A back into my system. At my O'Reilly's, they actually had a full can of 20 ounces. So for me, that was a no-brainer. I didn't have to get a scale. I didn't have to weigh it out. To me, that was the full thing, and I was able to put the full can in it. So the only thing is my pressures did get a little bit lower than what the recommended pressures were. So like, since it was 70 degrees or 73 degrees outside, the low suction side should be anywhere from, actually I'm right in the middle. So the low pressure side should have been anywhere from 20 to 45 PSI. Mine was actually at 35 PSI, which is not bad. It's right in between. And the high side is supposed to be at 150 to 250, and I'm actually right at 150. So I really can't complain. It's like I'm right there where I need to be. So yeah. So I'll link the tools that I use from Amazon, especially those couplers, down in the description window. Remember, it is an Amazon link, so if you do link on it, I do get a cutback from anything that you might purchase on that. So I just kind of want to let you guys know. It does help out with my channel. So, but yeah, so hopefully somebody learned something from this. And if you're trying to if you're trying to do it yourself, hopefully this helps you. Like I said, the only reason I did it is I don't see too many videos on my truck, my make and model. So I want to just put it out there just in case if anybody else has a vehicle like that, or just it kind of helps people out. So yeah, so I hope you liked the video. Remember, if you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do it. Like Isaac said, I feel comfortable doing it. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do it. But yeah, so yeah, that's the video. Remember, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.